Weird. Looked like something out of a fairy tale. Well, that was about half an hour of panic. Good morning. I'm back at Bleaklow yet again. Bleaklow really is the place that keeps on giving. Hopefully it's going to give well today. This in front of me here is marked on the map as Old Dyke, and it probably is pretty old. I'm walking to the south of Doctor's Gate. There are no paths, at least nothing marked on the map. The terrain is very tough and challenging, quite wet underfoot. We've had a lot of rain recently in the last week. Well, in the last year it feels like. And I'm here to walk where pretty much no one walks and to check out a few things. I don't know what I'm going to find. This is a true explore walk. Unlike any explore walk, you don't know what you're going to find until you get out and have a look. I've looked on YouTube. There's pretty much nothing on YouTube for this area, so it's somewhere that people just don't come. However, at least in the past, there has been interesting things here, so I want to check it out and I want to see what I can see. Some great views up White Clough, where I went last week. It looks incredibly steep. It looks almost impossible from here. It's not that bad when you're actually walking it though, apart from maybe the very top section. Here's another one of those traps I keep seeing, so someone does come here. The inspiration for this walk today came from last week's walk. As I was fairly close to the top of White Clough over there, I looked out over here and I could see a couple of things which looked a bit odd. I couldn't make out what they were in the distance. Now I'm here, I'm guessing it was these grouse butts that I saw. They look bigger though from a distance, and I guess it's because they're surrounded by heather. It makes them look bigger than the grouse butt. And I saw a couple of those. I was trying to work out what they were. They didn't quite look like rock formations. I thought actually that they might be shooting cabins or ruins of shooting cabins, so I got quite excited. And then the clag rolled in and I lost sight. So when I was home, I looked on the map. Couldn't really see anything on the map directly here, but I did find something of interest. Looking at some old maps, I found something of interest not that far from where I'm stood. So I'm having a look here first, then I'm going to check out that, and then I thought I'll just wander around and try and get some different views of Bleaklow. Some views that most people don't get to see. Yeah, I'm 99% sure what I saw was a couple of these grouse butts. They're pretty unusual. You've got the wooden grouse butt, and then around it you've got like a dry stone wall, And then on top of that, you've got heather growing. It's been deliberately put on there. And it makes the whole thing look much bigger from a distance and much more substantial. There's White Clough. And I definitely saw these grouse butts. It's a bit disappointing that these have turned out to be grouse butts, but as I say, when I was looking at this area on the map and doing a little bit of research, I did find something interesting, and I'm going to check that out in a minute, or half an hour, however long. I will check that out. But for now, I'm interested in these views. Ashton Clough is looking pretty amazing as well. There's a plane crash up Ashton Clough. The wreckage is strewn pretty much all the way from the very bottom to pretty much, yeah, actually there is some at the very top as well. So the entire length of the clough there is wreckage. And if I turn round, that's what the grouse butt looks like from this direction. It really does stick out, and it is what definitely 100% what I saw. Absolutely amazing, these views. When you look, there are grouse butts everywhere over here on this side. So I've come back south, back to the old dike. There's another one of those traps right there. There's another line of grouse butts, and it looks like there's some benches. I think they're benches, so I might make use of them. I'm following this kind of track. It's not really a track, but it's being used by a lot of vehicles. It's a lot easier to walk along here, and it's taking me where I want to go next. I've seen that many times. I didn't realise it was a quarry. The quarry is actually pretty well hidden. There's trees all along the sides. Well, this is what I expected, but I'm a little bit disappointed anyway. So, the evolution of this walk, the origin of this walk was when I was going up White Clough last week, and I could see something over here that looked like it might be something like a shooting cabin, or a couple of shooting cabins, or buildings, or something. So I looked at the maps, and I couldn't see anything there, but not that far away, approximately where I am right now, on old maps, I found a shooting cabin. It's not on present day maps, and it's not on the satellite maps, so I knew full well it wasn't here anymore, but I was expecting or hoping to find something. A bit of stonework or something, but there's nothing. I'm not entirely sure if I am exactly in the right spot, because I was looking at some pretty old maps, but I'm very approximate to the spot, and there is nothing that I can see whatsoever. Yeah, my money's on this location. There was something here. It must be this spot here. Almost completely gone. Well, pretty much completely gone, but you can see where it would have been. I'm a little bit obsessed with shooting cabins. So this is the site of the Coldharbour Moor, which is the name for this particular stretch of moorland on Bleaklow. The Coldharbour Moor shooting cabin. Completely gone, unfortunately, but you can tell from the tracks and the condition of the grouse butts that this area is still used for grouse shooting. There's a track here, and this leads down. This is actually called Cabin Clough, which is a bit of a giveaway, and it leads down to the Snakes Pass. This is Cabin Clough. I'm on a track on the side of it. There is that gate that leads directly onto the Snakes Pass. So I've retraced my steps back up Cabin Clough, past the site of the old shooting cabin, and now I'm continuing to make my way west towards Glossop along this track, and I've got the Snakes Pass off to the left, and I've got the Doctor's Gate path off to the right. So I'm on that ridge of high ground between the two. Where that quarry is, that's called Washbrow. You can see a wall there, and there's a gate. So the other side of that wall is not access land, but this side is. And that mound there, that high point over there, is called Lordship Hill. So it is on the edge of the access land, but it's the right side of the access land boundary. I'm going to go over and check it out. These are the views from the top of Lordship Hill. Incredible views. The heather is just starting to turn purple. It looks really nice, really beautiful. It says, I can't read it very clearly, in memory of Mitchell James Turner, my son, my best friend, I miss you, Mitch. That's not old, that's quite recent. But what a location. Look at these views. Mysterious object alert. So I think this is pretty much the same thing that I saw on last week's walk. It's a big container of water. I'm guessing. Why it's here, I'm not sure. Unlike the one I found last week on White Clough, this is not connected to any kind of stream. Weird. So here I am at the bottom of another row of grouse butts that go along the side. I haven't really decided where I'm going to go from here. It looks like you can get down fairly easily down that clough there, which is Hay Clough, and I believe there's a waterfall there. Certainly some of the grouse butts do seem to go down, so it must be walkable without too many problems. And then you're on the Doctor's Gate path. And it would be good to go down there just to see the waterfall, but I'm very curious about the next clough along, which is Birchen Orchard Clough. Not a bad view. Birchen Orchard Clough. I am on a bridge on this track. I'm very tempted to follow this down. Pretty nice waterfall. Another one of these traps. Spectacular views. Gorgeous. If the sun was shining, that would look so much nicer. It would look like something out of a fairy tale. Vegetation is just terrible. Well, that was about half an hour of panic. I was bushwhacking through this bracken, this very heavy, very high bracken, and suddenly realized my phone was no longer in my pocket. Now, I knew that I'd taken it out not that far up, just maybe 20 yards up, 20 meters up, something like that from where I was stood. I knew I'd taken a bit of video, but I had to go up and down that bracken, looking for my phone about 5 times before I finally found it. Anyway, if you are coming down here, there is now quite a nice trail, quite an easy trail for you to follow through the bracken for a section, for about 20 meters or so. Right, I'm almost back at the Doctor's Gate path now. So that's where I've just come down. Okay, so on the Doctor's Gate path, first time the entire walk that I've actually been on the proper path. Right, so I'm on the Pennine Way, just a very short distance to go to get to the car. That was a good walk, good explore of Coldharbour Moor, my first time walking that part of Bleaklow. Lordship Hill was really good, some great views. Pity about the cabin, but I pretty much knew that there wasn't going to be much, having looked at satellite imagery. A really good scramble down the clough, and yeah, apart from my phone coming out of my pocket, it's been a very good walk. Hope you've enjoyed it.